What's good, y'all, and welcome back to my channel here at Imperfect Millionaires. Guys, if you've ever wanted to know how to actually build a digital empire, if you've ever wanted to know how it is that people begin with zero knowledge and they go from literally $0 with zero following, and then they go build an empire, right? How do you get to your first $10,000? And I mean a month, right? I don't mean a year. How do you get to your first 10,000? How do you get to your first 100,000, right? Maybe you just want to create a couple thousand a month. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video and in this series. What I mean by this series is this is video 8 of a series. If you have not seen the previous videos, they are right here. This is the series. Now, if you're seeing this on another channel except for Imperfect Millionaires, that's okay, because this series is being built in a unique way that allows affiliates with Endless Income Academy, and that's what we're going to be talking about, to go and put this series on their YouTube channels to build a following and build a channel and monetize a channel, right? So why would I do that? Well, because that's what this is all about. We have created Endless Income Academy, and the key philosophy at Endless Income Academy is we give you a fish and we teach you to fish, right? You know the old saying, give a man a fish or a woman a fish and you feed him for a day, teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Oftentimes what we found, though, in doing this, and when I say we, I'm referring to my partner, John Artsberger, whose YouTube channel is From Failure to Freedom. What we have found in the years of doing this is that oftentimes people just get frustrated, right? They're fishing, but they're not learning fast enough, so they throw down their pole and they walk off. And they go back to whatever it is that they're used to doing, whether they want to do it or not. That's not an acceptable answer, in my opinion, so we created Endless Income Academy. Now, what we're going to be talking about in this video, as I said, this is video 8. If you go to any channel and you're looking for it, if you just click on playlist, if you can't find the playlist to start at the beginning, just click on playlist, it'll drop down, and you'll see the series, and you can start at the beginning, okay? But if you want to watch this one, what we're going to be talking about in this video specifically is a lot of the things that people face when trying to do something like this, when they're trying to get out of their ordinary, when they're trying to get out of the ruts. So another thing we talk a lot about in Endless Income Academy is the 3 things that you actually need to be successful long term, right? I don't mean flash in the pan. I don't mean you make a few bucks. I mean you want to be successful. And guys, this applies to anything. So whether or not you're into affiliate marketing, whatever, I don't really care. Bottom line, here it is. Tool set, skill set, mindset. If you don't have those 3 things and you don't understand them very well, then you're not going to go anywhere. And if you do, it's going to be a flash in the pan because something's going to happen in your life that's going to discourage you, right? When it comes to the mindset, or you don't have the proper tool set, or you got all the tools, but you don't know how to use them. How many of you can relate to that, right? We've had some pretty fancy things in our lives, probably. I know I have, and I really didn't know how to use them to the extent that they could be used. Like, I'll give you a simple example. My microwave probably does, I don't know, maybe 50 functions. It's crazy, right? What do I use it for? I just throw something in there and heat it up. I don't use all the other stuff. You know, and maybe that's not the best example, but you get my point, right? If you don't know how to use the tools, then you're not going to use them. In the case of the microwave, it's not so serious. It still heats up my soup or whatever. I got that. But when it comes to business and stay power and the ability to build a brand and create a substantial audience and build a following and find your voice, those are all of the things that we teach you, but initially it's done for you. So here's some of the things that you're going to encounter, right? For one, you need to understand something massively. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she mentioned something, and she had a little saying that I thought was just fantastic. And here's what it is. She said, money doesn't grow on hopes and wishes. It grows on systems, right? Well, actually, she said money grows on systems. And I just kind of added the hopes and wishes because oftentimes I think that's what people do, right? They start something new. They have this internal excitement, but also this nervousness about starting something, about creating something, about stepping out of their element, because they know that in their environment, if they go share what they're about to do or attempting to do with the folks around them, they're probably not going to meet that introduction with a lot of support, right? And why is that? Well, I want to break that down for you guys a little bit here. You know, in my opinion, I've been doing this for 3 decades, right? I've been a sales trainer for 3 decades, helping people make money online, offline. It doesn't really matter because, yeah, there's some few different steps involved, but it's got a lot of similarities. And what I'm trying to say by saying that is this, that when you approach people, right? That's why I'm not a huge fan of MLMs, multi-level marketing, if you don't know what that is, where, you know, they tell you, make a list of 100 people that you know and go tell them all about your new exciting business venture. In the history of bad ideas, that's a really bad idea, right? Unless you know that those are people that are going to support you in it, or, you know, a lot of people's scenario is they've tried lots of other things before, right? The old proverbial shiny object, right? They chase the shiny object and it doesn't work out for them, and then they chase a new shiny object and they try to involve the people that care about them. Well, guys, it's just a really bad idea and it's not necessary. A couple reasons. One is those folks know you. And if you tried some things in the past and they didn't pan out, then they just see this as another harebrained scheme that you've come up with that you're just going to go make money. And honestly, guys, without identifying the three things, the tool set, the skill set, and the mindset, it kind of would be a harebrained scheme, because you need to learn those things no matter what you're doing, right? If you're going to go start a roofing company or a hair salon or all of the things, right, have to be in place in order for it to work. You know, if you start a hair salon and you have no idea what you're doing, you're probably going to piss some people off pretty fast because you don't know what you're doing, right? And if you start a hair salon and you do know what you're doing, but you have a butter knife to cut their hair with, guess what? It's not going to pan out. So here's what I'm suggesting to you. For one, just keep it to yourself within your environment. For two, go to work on TSM, tool set, skill set, mindset. All right. Now, briefly, if you don't know, all of the things are included so that you don't really have to do much, you know, within, let me click over here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. EIA. So here, when it comes to resources, check this out. So literally all of for one, the funnel's done. For two, the platform's done. For three, the emails are done. For four, the content is actually created. So you can literally come over here to Premium Social Content and you can literally grab these things and post them on your socials, right? So you start a Facebook and boom, here are reels that you can post, and you just post them with your links, right? So you say, well, hey, where do I get the links? Well, you come back over here to home and guess what? They're already here. They're literally right here waiting for you. You just take the link, you post the video, and you post the link like we tell you to, right? And the email sequence is done. The funnels are done. You know I mentioned that, but when I say done, guys, I don't mean you got to go build them or set them up or copy and paste them. I mean, you log in, grab your link, and rock and roll, okay? So there's really no need to go make a list of 100 people that you know, because social media is massive, right? Social media is massive. We do the telling and selling for you so that you don't have to, but that doesn't mean that you can't learn to. So some of the things that you're going to encounter, right, are other people. The other thing you're going to encounter, and this is a really massive one, and this is why I decided to make this video 8 rather than just keep pouring on the bonus income streams inside of Endless Income Academy. One of the things you're going to encounter, guys, is going to be yourself, right? And this isn't true for everybody, but I would say for the majority of people I've ever talked to. And I've trained a lot of people, and I know people that train a lot of people. So you're going to encounter yourself, because here's why. Because you know you better than anybody. Especially if you've tried some things in the past and maybe they didn't pan out so well, because you didn't acquire the tool set, the skill set, and the mindset. Or maybe you acquired one but not the other two, or maybe you acquired two but not the third one. It doesn't matter. If you don't have them all three, it's not going to function smoothly. If you don't have a support crew, a community to get behind you when you're not feeling super encouraged or super confident, right? You're going to encounter yourself. You're going to have those days, maybe those weeks, sometimes those months for some folks, right? It's just how it tends to go. And that being said, guys, that's why it's so important to have that place to fall back on, that community to fall back on. That's why we have the mastermind inside of Endless Income Academy to support people. John and I are there every Wednesday. That's why Drew Barr and myself do the Saturday morning calls, to be there for people, because it's not particularly hard, but it is challenging in the sense that you're making a shift from what you're used to doing something new. In addition to that, it's highly probable that a lot of the people around you will not support you in what you're trying to do because they probably don't understand it, right? Just last night, and I shouldn't mention this, but I will. I got this, and I normally don't respond to these folks, right? Some guy saw a reel that I'd made, and he said, oh, scam, blah, blah, blah. So I went and looked, and he's got like 2 or 3, 4, I don't even remember, stupid videos on some YouTube channel. And frankly, they're not doing anything for anyone. You know, so that was my response. I said, well, I completely understand where you're coming from. Clearly, you've got it all figured out. And the videos on your channel are amazing. I can see how they're super helpful to people, right? Was I being a smart ass a little bit? Yeah. I normally don't, but I was just in a rare form, you know, last night. And his response was, oh, yeah, you really help people. You blah, blah, blah. Dude, I've been doing this for 3 decades. You bet your ass I help people. I put out free content showing people what to do and how to do it. I make content so that others can monetize their channels. Am I helping people? I sure in the hell hope I'm helping people, right? But what am I trying to say? Even people that don't know you, unsolicited, will offer advice that is ignorant, frankly, right? It's just ignorant. Why? Because they're in their place with their tribe, with their community, right? And that was my final response, was, hey, I wish you the best. You will be muted now, and take care, right? Because I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. What I am here to do is show the way to create a 6-figure income and then a 7-figure income. That's why John and I are both here. If you're interested in doing that, here's what I want you to do. Go down to the description of this video. Click on the link. There will be more information on Endless Income Academy. Check it out, right? Like I said, but we're not here to convince anybody of anything. If you don't like it, no harm, no foul. That's fine. But if you do, and you're looking for a place with the tool set, the skill set, the mindset, everything that you could possibly need sitting right here on this dashboard, and you want to get rolling, even if you're a little nervous inside, I get it, right? If you're seeing this video on another channel, contact them, right? We're all here to support you. We run Saturday morning meetings, and I guess I could drop a link in the video description for that. You're also welcome to come to that and check it out and ask your questions. Get your questions answered is the most important part, I think. But really, when it boils down to it, guys, if you're just a little nervous to make a shift, that's pretty normal. You're going to run into that. And then finally, I would say the third thing is this. There are those out there that desire so strongly to make a change, and they just never do. Here's one piece of advice I could give you. Talk to some old folks, right? I love talking to old folks because they got good advice. If you're running into that and you are that person, it's possible. It's possible for you to push through it, right? If you're that person that you ought to do this and you ought to do that, you ought to do that, you just never quite seem to get to the point where you do it, even though you know it, I completely understand. I'm an excellent procrastinator as well, right? So I would say look around for examples of folks that put it off, and maybe some that didn't ever take that step, and they went to their grave with all of their talents, wishes, desires, dreams, and abilities inside of them, right? What am I getting at? Am I trying to make you sad here? No, I'm not. I'm trying to inspire you to push through that, whatever that is holding you back, whether you label it fear or anxiety or not quite sure, whatever. I'm not here to hand you a label, right? I don't even want I don't want you to hand yourself a label. But what I'm more interested in is that you push through it. Whether it's Endless Income Academy, ABC, XYZ, going back to school, whatever it is you want to do. Listen, if you're going to that 9-to-5 grind and you're just truly unhappy, and you wake up every day resenting the fact that you have to go somewhere and give your time to build somebody else's dream, I completely understand, right? There's a lot of talk about that out there. I get it, loud and clear. What I'm here to do, and the reason I made this video today, is because these are the most common things I see that just trap people. And guys, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to encourage you. Take that step. Even if you're nervous, it will be okay. And as far as Endless Income Academy, I know it will be okay because we're here to support you and we understand. We're not those typical idiot gurus screaming from the rooftops, just push through it, just make money, your feelings don't matter. All of that's garbage, right? That's cool to say, right? In a poem or in a meme. But really, it doesn't apply, does it? Because every single day when you wake up, that weight, those things are on your shoulders. You have to bear that. Or do you? Can you set it down and walk away? Is it your cross to bear? Or is it just a feeling you picked up somewhere through life that you are capable, with the proper support, the proper system, that you can go to task and build the life you want? Guys, I say the second one is true, and the first one is just your perception, right? Meaning that you can set it down if you choose to. I'm going to end the video there. If you like this kind of content, give me a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and tick the bell icon so when the next video is released, you will be notified. Thanks for watching, guys.